Hello again. The morning after the general election, our new Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, gave a speech, the text of which I give a link to in the description to this video. In it, he said that we will begin with a reset with Europe on climate and with the global south. Well, reset with Europe is easy enough to understand. It means trying to reverse Brexit. The reset on climate means more wind farms and higher electricity bills. Some viewers, though, may not know what is meant by the global south or why we need a reset about it. The global south is a racist concept which is becoming very fashionable among left-wing and progressive types. Global south doesn't mean what you might suppose. After all, Australia and New Zealand are in the south of the globe, but they are specifically excluded from being part of the global south. The global south is the modern expression to describe what we used to call the third world. What it really means is non-white people. White areas such as Canada, the United States, Europe, Russia, Australia and New Zealand are all considered to be one block. And everywhere else, Africa, Asia and South America, Mexico, are the global south. It is a way of dividing the world up on racial grounds. Resetting Britain's relationship with the global south is code for giving more money to people in Africa and Asia while allowing more people from those continents to come and live in Britain. This will perhaps come as no surprise to most viewers, knowing David Lammy as perhaps they do. The rationale behind this policy, which is likely to prove disastrous and to deliver a knockout blow to British culture and the traditional way of life in this country, is simple. In the description to this video, I also give a link to the Wikipedia page about the concept of the Global South. You see, as we know, countries in Africa, South America and much of Asia and the Middle East tend to be poverty-stricken and backwards when compared with those areas where people of white European ancestry live. Why is this? The most popular explanation, at least among intellectuals and academics and so on, is known as dependency theory. According to this, the reason for the pitiful state of Africa is that it's all our fault. Because we went there and built bridges and roads, hospitals and railways and so on, and introduced medicine and science to sub-Saharan Africa and the Middle East, we made them dependent upon us, even after they became independent nations. They're now serving our needs rather than their own, and they have class structures in their societies which are a legacy of colonialism. If we had only left well alone, then they would be like paradise on earth now, with their own traditions of science and medicine unsullied by Western influence. This at least is the theory, although some of us take leave to treat the idea as being more than a little dubious. Because we caused the harm and created this culture of dependency, it is therefore up to us to repair the damage we inflicted. This is what Lammy and people like him believe. This can be done in two ways. The first is by giving a lot of our money to Africa and Asia so that the ill effects of colonialism may be remedied. And the second is by taking a lot of refugees from both continents whose status is also a legacy of our interference. In short, white Europeans are, by this reading of the situation, liable to make extensive amends for the state in which Africa and parts of Asia now find themselves. In practical terms, David Lammy is giving notice that there is to be a reset of our relationship with non-white countries, and this will entail handing out money and taking more refugees. That is, in a nutshell, the policy of the new government, which Lammy has described as progressive realism. Be afraid, be very afraid.